Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old woman. She was kind, wise, and always happy. Everyone in the village loved her. People would come to her for advice, to share their problems, or simply to feel her positive energy. One day, a young man approached her and asked, "How are you always so happy? No matter what happens, you never seem sad. Don't you ever feel bad when things go wrong?" The old woman smiled gently and said, "Life is full of ups and downs. Some days are good and some days are bad. But I've learned that happiness doesn't come from what happens around us. It comes from within." The young man was confused. "What do you mean? How can you be happy when bad things happen?" The old woman shared her story. "When I was young, I had a family, a husband and children. We weren't rich, but we were happy. Then one day, my husband got sick. We didn't have enough money for medicine, and despite everything we tried, he passed away. It was the saddest day of my life. I cried and cried, and I thought I would never be happy again." She paused for a moment, then continued. "But over time, I realized something. Being sad all the time wouldn't bring him back. My children needed me, and I needed to find a way to be happy again. So, I started looking at life differently. I understood that life will always have good and bad moments, but I decided I wouldn't let the bad moments steal my happiness." The young man listened intently and asked, "But how did you do that?" The old woman smiled. "Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself, today is a new day, and I will find something to be happy about. Some days are harder than others, but I always find something. Maybe the sun is shining, maybe a flower is blooming, or maybe I see a friend. There is always something to be thankful for." The young man thought for a moment, then asked, "But what if something really bad happens? How can you still be happy then?" The old woman replied, "It's not easy, but I remind myself, everything passes. Even the bad times won't last forever. When bad things happen, I tell myself, this too shall pass. I focus on the good things I still have, like my health, my friends, or simply the fact that I'm alive. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to focus on the bad and be sad, or you can choose to find the good and be happy. It's not always easy, but it is possible." The young man thanked her and left with a new perspective. From that day on, he tried to find something good in every situation, just like the old woman. Slowly, he realized that his life became better. Even when things went wrong, he learned to stay positive and find happiness in the small things. The old woman's story spread throughout the village, and more people began to understand that happiness isn't about what you have or what happens to you. It's about how you see life. They learned to be happy in every situation, just like the wise old woman. And so, the village became a happier place, thanks to the old woman who taught them all the secret to true happiness. Because happiness is a choice that comes from within. No matter how difficult life may get, we can find joy in the small things and choose to focus on the good. Life's challenges will pass, but a positive attitude helps us remain strong and content.